we thought we should brief you on the situation of Ugandans currently residing in China, because we have been hearing, both officially and through the press, about concerns of our citizens, not only of Uganda, but of Africa, residing in China. And these reports have been coming, and we are in close contact with our mission in Beijing and our consulate in Guangzhou. There are a number of categories of Ugandans who are in China. Some are students, some are doctors, some are teachers, others are business people. And all these people, some are there with proper working permits and visas. Others had gone for business in China, and we are caught up with the lockdown, and their visas expired because they overstayed. Now, these two categories of people who are residents and are there legally, or those whose visas expired because of the lockdown, the government of China has agreed to say that those who were caught in the lockdown and the visas expired, the visas will be extended for another 2 months. There is a third category, and these are people, Ugandans, who have found a way of getting into China, some of them as visitors, but have overstayed and found work and living really pretty much underground. During the lockdown and the testing for coronavirus, some of these people were unable to come out and declare their stay because they were, in a way, they were undocumented people in Beijing, rather in China. And as a result, some of them have been unable to stay where they have been, and they have run out of money. And so they were really facing very difficult times. Last Saturday, on the 11th, I summoned the ambassador of China to Uganda and relayed the concerns of Uganda government, which were basically mistreatment of Ugandans and other Africans, the situation relating to their continued stay, even in light of expiration of their visas. And these concerns were relayed both to him and to our embassy in Uganda to take them up with the Chinese, our embassy in China, take it up with the government of China. I've just had a meeting today, again with the Chinese ambassador to Uganda. He did indeed relay our concerns to the government of China, and these concerns have been considered and are being considered further. And our mission in China also attended a meeting yesterday with the Vice Minister of Foreign Affairs of China, with other African missions, again to put forward our concerns. Out of that meeting, a number of issues were discussed, and first of all, there had been miscommunication or failure to communicate and sensitize the officials of local governments about handle this situation, especially in Guangdong province and the city of Guangzhou. However, yesterday, it was agreed between our mission and other African missions who attended the meeting with the Vice Minister of Foreign Affairs to establish an effective communication mechanism between especially Guangdong local authorities and our Consul Generals of Africa. There are 11 consulates of Africa, including that of Uganda in Guangzhou, to ensure that information sharing and addressing all these concerns is carried out amicably. Secondly, it was agreed to provide accommodation for Ugandans, especially those who have overstayed their visas and have been left with no places of residence. It was also agreed to provide assistance to those that have been quarantined in some hotel facilities and cannot afford the cost. It was also agreed to ensure that there are no targeted evictions and revocation of legal rental contracts by the landlords as alleged. Also it was agreed to ensure that no discrimination in access to services such as hospitals, markets, public transportation, restaurants, shopping malls, and that wherever it had been happening, it was the result of individuals' actions rather than government policy. We have also agreed to continue engaging the Chinese government and asked them that because of the lockdown and also because of lack of travel facilities now all over the world, Ugandans should be allowed to stay in China without being harassed and their expenses paid for. So Chinese government is considering all that, and we are pleased with the outcome of our engagement, and we will continue engaging them so that we ameliorate the suffering of our Ugandan people in China. We have also told them that we agree that it is important for any country to take preventive measures against the spread of coronavirus. We have taken those measures here in our country. That's why we have had a lockdown. And we think every country should work, all of us should work in solidarity to suppress the spread of coronavirus. So I thought I would let you know the steps that the government of Uganda has taken to protect our citizens who reside in China, the engagement we have had with the Chinese government, and I think the positive results of this engagement. I thought I would let you know of that this morning. And we are ready to take any questions.
Thank you very much.
We have also, if I may add, asked our consulate in Guangzhou, especially, to register the Ugandans who are in need so that they can access assistance and also access and have their visas renewed.
Thank you very much, Minister. Members of the press, the Minister will entertain 4 questions, and whoever is ready can be given a chance. I know you have enough voices, and I will speak from there because of the social distancing.
We have talked about discrimination. We have talked about xenophobia, and they have agreed to take measures against any individual who engages in these acts because it is not government policy. China take this opportunity to register with our embassy and the consulate in Guangzhou so that their status is established and they are protected. It is an appeal that is in their interest. Huh? This, because there is no way you'll get assistance unless you are registered and we know where you are staying. Whether it is in a hotel or whether it is in a residence, for you to be assisted, we need to know who you are and where you are. So the appeal is to all Ugandans to take up this opportunity, difficult as it is, to register with our consulate in Guangzhou and our mission in Beijing so that they can access the facilities we have agreed upon.